The $12.5 billion sale of the Los Angeles Lakers is the endpoint of a chaotic 14-month sequence of federal probes, market pivots, and sudden health scares. For decades, the Lakers operated as the most title-saturated franchise in modern NBA history. Under the Buss family's ownership, the organization secured 11 championships starting in 1979, running the team like an independent family business. But despite that competitive success, the family lived with a glaring financial paradox. They were entirely reliant on the team for their net worth. For years, financial analysts described them as being house poor. They owned an asset of massive value, but lacked the actual cash to run it. This reality contrasted sharply with the league's new mega-owners, like Steve Ballmer, who possess vast outside wealth and diversified portfolios that allow for aggressive, liquid spending. The pressure on the Buss family multiplied with the arrival of a $77 billion television rights deal, which is set to trigger a massive spike in player contracts and luxury tax penalties. Competing in this environment requires massive liquid operating capital. A family with their net worth entirely tied up in a single franchise simply cannot generate the cash necessary to cover these escalating costs. To keep the franchise viable in the modern NBA, Mark Walter stepped in to purchase majority control of the Lakers at a $10 billion valuation. In 2021, Walter's stake valued the franchise at $5 billion. That doubled due to two catalysts. First, acquiring Luka Doncic added billions in commercial potential. Second, owning the Dodgers allowed Walter to bundle TV rights and dominate the LA market. The $10 billion rescue appeared to be a permanent solution, a marriage of deep pockets and synergies, securing the Lakers for a decade. But that stability lasted less than a year. Just 10 months after the league approved the sale, the timeline fractured. The Wall Street Journal published reports detailing a federal law enforcement probe into Walter's financial conglomerate, TWG Global, over potential fraud. Investigators scrutinized $21 billion in undisclosed loans made by Walter's insurance companies, tracking asset movements to affiliated companies tied to his empire. The legal pressure was compounded by a physical crisis. Reports emerged that Walter had suffered a severe stroke in 2024, raising internal panic about his capacity to manage the fallout of the federal investigation. Facing catastrophic legal and physical risks, Walter realized he could no longer hold a highly visible, public-facing asset. He moved to liquidate the team immediately. In August 2026, Walter stunned the league by flipping the team for $12.5 billion. The buyers were venture capital billionaire Josh Kushner, whose firm Thrive Capital manages over $50 billion in assets, and his partner, former Disney CEO Bob Iger. Kushner and Iger had been pursuing a different path. They were actively bidding to bring an NBA expansion team to Las Vegas. But when the Lakers went into distress, the duo abandoned the Vegas project to scoop up the league's most iconic legacy asset. This pivot finalized the fastest, most expensive franchise flip in the history of North American sports. This Clifford Chance briefing outlines the framework allowing this consolidation. The NBA has officially loosened private equity ownership rules. The table shows investors can hold stakes in up to 8 teams, making private equity sponsors essential in this multi-billion-dollar asset class. This sequence signals a change in the anatomy of the league. Elite sports franchises have become hyper-volatile financial instruments, traded at the speed of global finance.